Welcome to the Solid Signal podcast for the week of June 7th, 2021. I was thinking this week, what was I going to talk about for our podcast? Because, sometimes I get cranky and sometimes I promote products and, sometimes I just kind of go off topic. And, what really occurred to me, I'm reading article after article about how companies are struggling to find qualified workers and how the average person is considering a job move right now, and how, there's this pent up demand right now to drop the job that you're in and find something that makes you happier because, the whole effect of being locked up for a year in your house is, getting to everybody. So I was thinking about this, and I guess me being in my own kind of bubble, I thought, well, that's all true, except for I don't see any of it. I don't see that stuff happening at Signal Group. And I got to thinking about it. About half of our leadership team has been with the company over 10 years. Next year, 2022, is going to be our 20th year in business. And that means we've got a lot of employees. We've got folks who have been with us since the beginning. We've got folks who have been with us over 15 years and a bunch who have been with us over 10. And that says something about a company. You make a choice every day when you buy. And a lot of us will just go to the same website and click buy now. And we hear about some of the labor issues that these websites have, and how, they don't necessarily treat employees well, and how there's all sorts of concerns that you should really have. And I get that. I get that. But, what comes through is that you don't see that kind of thing at Solid Signal. What you see is a group of people who work together, who've been together for a very long time and who don't leave. I mean, look, of course we have employee turnover. This happens from time to time. But more importantly, what happens is we've got a lot of people who don't leave. Not everybody's a perfect fit for Solid Signal. Tech companies are a notoriously hard place to work. We tend to be very dynamic. We tend to prioritize people who can work hard, play hard, do good work, and work on a team, as well as work individually. That's been really put to the test over the last year and a half almost, because, just like your company, a lot of the Solid Signal team moved home for a very long time. Luckily, the state of Michigan has lifted all of its restrictions, and we're in the process of reemerging and returning to our corporate offices in Novi, Michigan. The fact that we were able to do all this stuff from home with really no drop in productivity is pretty amazing, and it says a lot about our internal IT infrastructure. And that's important too. Not only did we not miss a step during the pandemic, but we rolled out a new website in November, a whole new web experience. And if you haven't been to solidsignal.com since last year, you really should go. It's a much more modern experience, a lot easier to find what you're looking for. And it's a ton faster, by the way. And that's important too. It's important not just because Google values it, but because real people do too. We did all this stuff during the pandemic because our IT folks, headed by a team leader who's been with the company for over 10 years, were able to keep us moving and keep us going. And that wasn't a foregone conclusion, folks. I mean, just like your company, we weren't 100% prepared for the work from home experience. I mean, not everybody was able to do that initially, but within about 2 weeks, by the end of March, we were really set up, and that's incredible. And that we did that for over a year for a lot of folks, that says a lot. And this is why I'm super impressed with Solid Signal, and I guess this is why I hear all this stuff about other companies shedding employees left and right, or being unable to find qualified people for what they're willing to pay, and you just don't see that. That's the kind of company that you want to shop at, folks. Like I said, I get it. A lot of us, and myself included, go to the same website day in and day out, despite the fact that we hear about, labor disputes or potential problems and stuff that it's almost unbelievable that you hear out in the media. But realistically, you don't see that stuff at Solid Signal. What you see is a group of hardworking folks who just, get together and put their heads down, do great work, and at the end of the day, have a lot of fun. That's it for this podcast. I just wanted to share with you that kind of thing, because if you are considering, you got two choices of where to buy, why not buy at a place where they treat the employees fairly and reasonably, and where everybody is glad to go to work in the morning and, happy to see their coworkers, and where very, very soon we will all be back in our Novi headquarters in Michigan. Looking forward to serving you further. If you like what you're hearing, like and subscribe. It always makes me look good to my bosses. If you don't like what you're hearing, leave a comment wherever you get this podcast, because that's the kind of thing that I like to hear too. I want to hear the good and the bad. I want to improve just like everybody else at Solid Signal. I'll see you next week.